Sick Day for Amos McGee, written by Philip C. Steed and illustrated by Aaron E. Steed. So, what do y'all think about the cover? What do you think the book is going to be about?
About an elephant.
About an elephant? What about a man? You see the man? What do you think he's doing?
Looks like he's sick. He's got a red nose.
Let's see. So this is the title page because it says a sick day for Amos McGee again. Amos McGee was an early riser. Every morning when the alarm clock clinged, he swung his legs out of bed, swiped his pajamas for a fresh press uniform. He would wind his watch and set a pot of water to boil, saying to the sugar bowl, "A spoonful for my oatmeal, please, and a 2 for my teacup." Belly full and ready for the workday, he ambled out the door. Every day, Amos waited for the number 5 bus. "Next stop, City Zoo," the bus driver would call. 6 a.m., right on time, he'd replied. Amos had a lot to do at the zoo, but he always made time to visit his good friends. He would play chess with the elephant, who thought and thought before making a move. Ran races with the tortoises, who never, ever lost. Sat quietly with the penguin, who was very, very shy. Lend a handkerchief to the rhino, who always had a runny nose. And at sunset, read stories to the owl, who was afraid of the dark. Is anyone afraid of the dark? No?
I'm afraid of the dark.
One day, Amos awoke with the sniffles and the sneezes and the chills. He swung his achy legs out of bed, curled them back again, and said, "Ugh, I don't think I'll be going to work today." Oh no, what do you think's going to happen?
Gotta stay home today.
Meanwhile, at the zoo, the animals waited for their friend. The elephant arranged his ponds and polished his castles. The tortoises stretched his legs and limbered up. The big penguin sat patiently, all by himself. The rhino worried that his allergies were worsening. The owl preached aside a tall stack of storybooks, scratching his head with concern. "Where is Amos?" the animals wondered. Where do you think Amos is?
Oh, sick.
Later that day, where do you think they're going?
They're going to look
Where
for
are they going to
Amos.
look for Amos? They look worried.
All right.
Isn't that funny?
Number 5.
Hooray! My good friends are here! The elephant prepared a game of chess. Amos thought and thought before making a move. "I'm too tired to run races today," said Amos to the tortoise. "Let's play hide and seek instead." The tortoise hid inside a shell. Amos hid beneath the covers. Amos yawned. "I could use a nap," the penguin said quietly. keeping Amos's feet warm. Achoo! Amos awoke with a sneeze. The rhino was ready with the handkerchief. I'm beginning to feel much better, thank you, said Amos to his friends. He swung his legs out of bed. Perhaps we shall share a pot of tea. Amos wound his alarm clock. It's getting late, he said. After all, we have a morning bus to catch. So Amos said goodnight to the elephant, and goodnight to the tortoise, and goodnight to the penguin, and goodnight to the rhinos, and goodnight to the owl, who, knowing that Amos was afraid of the dark, read his story aloud before turning out the light.
Oh, they're all sleeping.
What are you thinking?
Amos has good friends.
I was thinking that too. It's good to have good friends who care about you.
Yeah. So, let me try reading this book again. It's kind of hard to read, isn't it?
You have it upside down.
I have it upside down. So which way is the right way to hold it?
You gotta hold it where the words are on top.
The words are on top. Like this?
Yeah, like that.
Yeah? Yeah, that seems right. So, this is the cover, isn't it?
Yes.
Can you show me where the title is? What, right here?
Right there.
A Sick Day for Amos McGee, that's the title?
That's the title.
Is that important for a book?
Yes.
Sure tells you what's inside the book.
Okay. So, written by Philip C. Steed. Is it important to put the person that wrote the book's name?
Yes.
Yes. Illustrated by Aaron Eadsteed. Do y'all know what illustration is?
That's the one who drew the pictures.
Drew the picture. You're right. Good job. So, do y'all want to make our own classroom cover?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
let's make a cover. What should we name our book?
Can't get away from crunch. Well, he couldn't get away from his zoo animals. It's true. When he stayed home, the animals came to him on number 5. And when we went to class, Crunch came to meet us.
Is that how the title is?
Yes!
Can't get away from crunch.
It's a good title.
So who should we say, where should we put written by?
Written by,
Blowgum.
Underneath.
Underneath? So written by the Singletary's class?
Yes.
Oh, I thought Mr. Underneath.
Mrs. Singletary's
Oh, you're putting it
class.
underneath.
Miss Singletary's class.
There you go.
Yeah, like that.
Don't you think that cover looks boring? What does it need?
It needs picture.
A picture? What should we draw?
Crunch.
I think of, yeah.
A dog. Yeah, like that.
they're having a hissy.
Yeah, like that.
Could that be Andy? We ought to draw a small one next to that for Crunch.
So now what do we need to put? Since we put illustration.
Now we have to put illustrated by Mrs. Singletary's class.
Is that Mrs. or Miss?
Whoops. Yes.
So we just made a cover. So
We
now
did.
y'all can make y'all's own book, can't y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we can, since we know the right places to write things, we can make our own cover for a book, and then we can go make a book.
And we have to draw pictures
Yes. And you have to
with
write your
crayons.
name. Okay. So y'all go make it y'all's own cover.
Oh, we made that cover.
And then y'all can write some pages in the book.
Do we have to make a new one?
Yes. I want y'all to make a new cover.
The same name?
Do we have to come up with a new name?